Hi, my name is Paul Spencer and I'm Paulbead on Etsy if you want to see my work, or come to my website glassbeadstudio.com. Given the price of gold-filled and sterling silver wire, I have found a way to make very attractive French ear wires with zero waste. Now let's begin. I'm going to use the wire right off the spool, and I'm going to also be using a jig. And just note the setup on the jig here. I'm using some 3/8 inch larger hole pins and the regular hole pin. I'll also be using something you may not be familiar with, which is actually a ring clamp. You can pick these up at Rio Grande for about $7, and they're very, very helpful in doing your cup burring your ends and filing your ends. So again, I'm going to work right off the wire, and this is going to be the end. I'm putting it in the holder here, the ring clamp, and I'm going to just file the end here. And this is the end of the wire that is going to be used for the loop, which you will attach your work to. And so I believe in absolutely no sharp edges anywhere on the earring. So this is the bail part of the French wire. Okay, and I'm just getting a nice soft edge there. I'm also going to be using 3mm round beads, and I'm using them in sterling silver, and I'm also using sterling silver argentium 20 gauge wire. And you can also use silver plate or gold plate for this, but the part that goes through the ear should really be sterling silver or gold filled. And given the price of those wires today, it really pays to do it, to be able to make them without any waste. So at this point, I'm putting the round bead on, and I'm going to take my round pliers here, my round nose pliers. I'm going to make a P loop. See? At that point, I'm going to break the back of the loop like this and come back in this way. And that way I get a nice even loop, square loop. And at this point, I'm going to take some very fine-nosed chain nose pliers, and I'm going to make a turn. I'm going to angle this, but not all the way, not a full 90 degrees, just so that the little bowl does not fall off. It catches there. Now I'm going to take this and place it in my jig. And the jig, as you know, is valuable because it will make many, many, many wires that look exactly the same. When I place the setup, and you'll have to place this for yourself, when I place the setup here, I also use a Sharpie marker and mark the holes so that I know, quickly where I am placing my pin once I take it out. Now I use my jig and I turn the jig around, holding the wire taut, and then I take my pin for the tail of the French wire, put that pin back in, and I make a 20-degree turn here. I use the jig to kind of make sure everything is pushed down and even, and then I pick up my French wire. Voila. At this point, I take my cutters and my flush cutters, and I cut it off just so. Because I'm compulsive at this point, I tend to take the large round of my forming pliers and just give it an extra pull in. But you don't have to do that, it's just an added thing that I do. And then at this point I hammer that part of the ear wire with a metal block and my chasing hammer. And then I go back to the ring clamp. You see that? See how easy that makes it? No matter what anybody wants to tell you, you need to apply a lot of pressure when you're using your cupping burr. And I also use a file. Most times when women get a irritation, it's not due to the metal, as a lot of people believe. It's not due to impurities in the metal. It's usually because there's some burrs or sharpness in the wire. So I believe in both ends, the bail end and the end that sticks into the ear, being as smooth as it can be. At this point, I'll do my cupping burr. Perfect, like butter. And you just want to straighten it, make sure everything is straight. And I'm just going to go over this one more time, just straighten that out a little tiny bit. And as you can see, a pretty nifty French ear wire. And if you notice, absolutely no waste. That's it. Thank you. And you can come see me at Paulbead on Etsy. Bye-bye. Press down on it.